Good morning, Saturday, February 28th, 6 o'clock in the morning, campsite number 4, Boot Jack on Mount Tamalpais. Gonna go on a long day hike today. It's gonna be great, lots to talk about. There's the accommodations, and the sun is starting to rise. Time to get started on the hike. First order of business is to get down to Stinson Beach. I'll start off on the Matt Davis Trail, but peel off and take the Dipsea, a little bit more scenic. May take Matt Davis coming back, and then the target is to climb to the summit of Tamalpais. I've climbed it many times, but usually from a higher elevation. So this time I'm gonna actually go to the beach, get to sea level, and then go all the way to the summit of Mount Tam, the high point of Marin County. It's 6:38. It's gonna be a great day. Conditions are great. Quick walk on Matt Davis. Now we're headed over to Boot Jack and heading to the Dipsea. Coming up on first big view of the morning. 7 o'clock. There's the city by the bay, Sutro Tower. You can see Transamerica, Salesforce, the big pineapple. But more importantly, right in front of me is Cardiac Hill. Looks like I got the high point of the Dipsea Trail to myself at the moment. Morning again. Dave Coffers, also known as Mile Marker, when I did a lash on the PCT in 2023. Today's February 28th, 2026, almost 3 years later. Announcing my intention to through hike, the Appalachian Trail. So starting in 2 weeks, I'll be at Springer Mountain, Georgia, going north. I intend to video log my adventures, and whether you like it or not, I'll call out the mile markers. Some people appreciate knowing where I'm at. Some people feel it's a distraction. Nonetheless, I want to know where I'm at, and that's what I'll do. So mile 0 to mile 2148, whatever it is at the moment, on Mount K. But right now, I'm on Cardiac Hill on the Dipsea, the oldest footpath race in the country. Pacific Ocean behind me, gorgeous day, high of 74, way above normal. But I'll talk along the trail and share thoughts if you're willing to come. 3 miles to Stinson Beach. So, just a few minutes past 7. Ooh, looks like the trail maintainers have been through here. Excellent work. 3 miles to Stinson Beach. We'll stop and get something to eat. Maybe the parkside, maybe something else. I usually go to the parkside. But drink lots of coffee, lots of water, hydrate, get some carbs. But this trail is not like the AT. This is the interstate. And the AT, I guess you could call it the Lincoln Highway. Much different. But nonetheless, certainly excited about getting out there. Some of my favorite sections of the Dipsea, no matter what time of year, but we got an epic day in store. Great temperatures, great conditions. But back to the Appalachian Trail. Yeah, just around 2,200 miles. Yeah, you know, take quite a bit of time out there. People ask, why do you want to do that? Well, everybody likely has some sort of goal. Everybody has their own different goals. A friend of mine suggested I should have been infantry. No, I like to camp on my own terms. Yeah, again, I was in the Army. I was an engineer. Other people are like, well, why don't you hike the Pacific Crest Trail? Well, I certainly did that, but the situation I'm in now, I applied to a program called Warrior Expeditions, a nonprofit program that helps combat veterans walk off their experiences on the Appalachian Trail. So an incredibly benevolent program to folks that get accepted, and they support you with gear, logistics, and other means to help you complete the trail. So I've always wanted to do the Appalachian Trail. First time I stepped foot on it was May of 1984 over by the Ty River in Nelson County. And I was preparing to go to Philmont, a Boy Scout camp in New Mexico, and we went up the Priest, one of the largest grade elevation changes on the entire Appalachian Trail. And that was pretty epic. It was just a weekend backpacking trip, but I'm thinking to myself, this trail goes much more distance than what we did. And then 3 years later, I did the same trail in the winter, prepping to do the presidential range with some other classmates of mine from college in New Hampshire in the winter. So that hike on the Priest that time was much different. It was freezing rain, 18 inches of snow post-holing, but still on AT. But I did move to California in 2009 and I got enamored by the trails out here. So I'm fortunate to have experienced both and the pros and cons of each. But now the focus is the Appalachian Trail. Okay, that is the Fair Lawns. Super clear day. It's over 30 miles away. Mile 5 on the Dipsea. No mile markers on the AT, just white blazes. I have to rely on my Far Out app to let me know where I'm at. So I keep about a 22 to 24 minute per mile pace, just depends on the terrain. So I just set the alarm on my watch for 22 minutes and check it. Another favorite spot of mine along the Dipsea, this stand of second growth redwoods. It's just got a quiet nature about it. Dipsea mile 6. Just over a mile to go. That is the steep ravine trail. Yeah, 1.4 miles to Stinson. Seen a couple hikers, actually runners, but still pretty desolate out here. I'm sure in a couple hours this place will be like Highway 101. So early bird gets the worm. There's something to be said for the statement, we attack at dawn. Get the early start, early finish, use the float at the end of the schedule. So, when you're hiking, getting up early, leaving early is critical to success. It's easy to sleep in, but that can lead to other things. Another epic view along the Dipsea in the far distance. You can see Point Reyes, and the San Andreas Fault runs through there. And an even better view of the Fairlawns. Wow, that's really clear. And then going over to Point Reyes there. So the geology of Point Reyes is the same geology of the Los Angeles area. So that's how far San Andreas Fault has moved things. All right. There's Stinson Beach in front of us. Get some breakfast on Highway 101, mile 7. A few more minutes and I'll be in Stinson Beach getting a cup of coffee. Decided on the park side for breakfast. Got the menu, a little damp, so I'm telling you, that sit pad comes in handy. And we got breakfast, looking good. A little map of the village of Stinson Beach. We're here at the parking lot. I'm gonna go touch the ocean, and then I'm gonna go up the Matt Davis Trail. So here's a little bit bigger trail map. Stinson Beach right here. Take the Matt Davis, and at this point, I'm gonna call an audible. I may take the Bolinas Ridge Trail depending on how I'm feeling, and then kind of work my way up to the top. That Bolinas Ridge Trail has got some epic views, so hopefully I'm up for it. March or die. Stinson Beach, the Pacific. This is the only beach that I have swam in on the Pacific Ocean. A couple folks out here, some surfers. A seagull is going after, I don't know, it looks like a shoe. So let me touch the water. All right. Just gonna touch the water, dip my toe. Boom. There we go. And going up the Matt Davis. Time to get on Matt Davis. Going up. Is the hard part over? Looking down towards Stinson Beach on the exposed area. This is like a super cool area of the trail. Went up 1,400 feet. I still got 1,400 feet to go, but it's a little bit longer. So that was over 2 miles. The next is about 6-7 miles. So yeah, just going up. It's kind of quiet, reflecting on preparations for the hike. So many things you can do. I do think being in some decent shape certainly helpful. So last 2 years I've dropped well over 30 pounds and got my diet dialed in. When I lost the weight, my knees and hips surprisingly did not hurt as much, so that helped. But still, I don't have trail legs to go do 20-25 miles on the AT. Just 10. This is where I'm making the call. Instead of going to Pantole, do a 180 Bolinas Ridge Trail. Scenic route. Not quite sure if I've been on this section of the Bolinas Ridge Trail. It's a lengthy trail. It goes all the way almost to Point Reyes. So other things to prep, you know, go to the doctor. You hit 50 and the check engine light comes on. I'm trying to unplug that damn thing or put some duct tape over it. But you gotta check under the hood. So that's okay at the moment. Under the shade of trees at the moment. But back to the health. Last thing I need to get checked out was visit to the dermatologist yesterday. So he did the full body review. I'm good. Sometimes your colleagues and friends can influence you in the right way. One had some skin issues, and I thought it'd be best to get that checked out before I go on a walk. So physical preparation, health preparation. With Warrior Expeditions, they're quite benevolent. They support you with the gear. There's just some small things I need to bring. But I think I'm in a good spot. Ooh, I got a duck. Stop to take a look back. I think maybe I have been on this trail, but it has been a while, and it is epic, spectacular, and definitely the path less taken, not too many footprints. And back, that's the Bolinas Ridge Trail. Came to the intersection. The Ridge Trail continues on to the north. This is Willow Ridge Fire Road. It'll drop back down to Stinson Beach. There's Bolinas Lagoon. Off in the distance is Point Reyes. So we just have some epic views. I'm gonna take a break. Come back on West Ridgecrest Boulevard. Crossing the road, now we're into the Mount Tamalpais watershed. Gonna take this fire road and work our way to the summit in that vicinity. There's the parking lot for Rock Spring. That's the road up to Mount Tam. That's the vicinity. We're gonna get on Simmons Trail. Take that for a little bit and then get on Ben Stein. Get on some trails I haven't been on in a while. It's good. This is a interesting treatment for the trees. I guess it's a way to get them to pass away. This is the side of Mount Tam I don't normally see. Lots of cool features. Beach to peak. From sea level, Stinson Beach to East Peak, Mount Tamalpais. I've been up here 50 times. First time March '97. First time I've ever done the entire beach to peak. So finishing up my Appalachian Trail through hike announcement. I'll be posting videos in the next couple weeks. The east is going to be a lot different than NorCal. See you on the trail. Mile marker signing out.